It's 1998, at the tail end of the giddy Clinton years. The economy is flourishing, and the dot-com bubble is rapidly inflating as millions of Americans log onto the internet for the first time. Few people have any idea that the market will crash dramatically in just a few short years. Alternative rock's own 90s boom has already gone bust. While the decade has thus far been good to Chicago's rock scene, making stars out of acts like the Smashing Pumpkins, Ministry, Liz Phair, and Veruca Salt, popular music is trending away from alt-rock in favor of electronica, something called nu metal, and producer Lou Pearlman's army of boy bands. Instead of embracing the new commercial sound that's sweeping rock, Chicago bands are thankfully turning against it. By 1998, indie bands around the world have started to stretch out their songs and develop a more sophisticated palette, referencing prog, free jazz, dub, and electronic influences. People are calling it post-rock. It's the biggest wave sweeping the indie scene, and Chicago, home to the most important groups in the genre, is at its center. Perhaps the most noteworthy of these groups is Tortoise. 1998 will see the release of TNT, which pushes post-rock even further toward a jazz-infused, spaghetti western mesh of guitar, electronics, and the group's signature rhythm section. Tracks like Swung from the Gutters finds the drumming of John McEntire and John Herndon dueling just beneath a hovering bass line, synth swells, and the infectious guitar work of newcomer Jeff Parker and former Slint member Dave Pajo. Another group on the bleeding edge of post-rock is Gaster del Sol, who once counted Tortoise's John McEntire as a full-time member. Now mainly a duo comprised of multi-instrumentalist composers David Grubbs and Jim O'Rourke, they will release Camel Floor in 1998.
September reverses and the equinox is fleet. Winter slides into
Although Grubbs and O'Rourke enlisted electronic experimentalist Marcus Popp of Oval as a writer and performer on the record, the album is defined by Jim O'Rourke's lush horn and string arrangements, a hint at his future solo work. Camel Floor will be Gaster del Sol's most accessible and popular release to date, but also their last. Tortoise drummer John McEntire and Gaster del Sol's Jim O'Rourke have also established themselves as two of indie music's most in-demand producers. Acts from around the globe like Stereolab and Trans Am, who've been touched by post-rock's influence, have come to its spiritual home to record albums on Chicago labels like Drag City, Touch and Go, and Thrill Jockey. In between post-rock records, these labels are also releasing LPs by Royal Trux, Blonde Redhead, and current Chicago resident Bill Callahan, aka Smock.
Cold-blooded old times. Cold-blooded old times. Cold-blooded old times.
Along with helping indie explore new stylistic ground, Chicago's also become the unlikely hub of a movement to reconnect with rock's roots. Local acts like Freakwater, singer-songwriter Robbie Folks, and the Mekons, a British punk band that's reinvented itself as a Chicago country rock band.
One by one, I hear the soft words that you whispered. One by one, I feel your kisses, soft and sweet. One by
A rising band on the Chicago alt-country scene is Wilco. The group has been collaborating with British folk punk Billy Bragg to create new music for a batch of unreleased Woody Guthrie lyrics. Instead of ripping off Guthrie's style, Wilco and Bragg choose to go their own way with the music. The resulting album, Mermaid Avenue, is a massive hit. Wilco's first, and it will do more than anything in recent memory to get indie rockers interested in folk music. Meanwhile, in basements around town, and at the converted bowling alley called the Fireside Bowl, Chicago bands are giving punk the same kind of makeover. Bands raised on hardcore have started dialing back their aggression in favor of more subtle melodic and emotional themes. 1998 albums like Braid's Frame and Canvas and Joan of Arc's How Memory Works will spread the sound even further afield, planting the seeds for an emo explosion just a few years from now. While Chicago's bands are helping to shape new identities for indie rock and punk, its late-blooming rap scene has found its own voice. On the west side, Do or Die, Crucial Conflict, DeBrat, and Twista are combining glossy beats with rapid-fire spitting to give the city its first national hip-hop hits. On the south side, Common is the best-known figure in a scene that emphasizes socially conscious lyrics and soulful sample flips.
What up, kid? Common sense in the house. Take it easy, take it easy.
Somewhere in the middle is a south side rap group called the Go-Getters, led by a rapping producer named Kanye West. West just had his first brush with success with the beat on Jermaine Dupri's first solo album, but the Go-Getters' first single, Oh, isn't going anywhere.
Oh, I hated on y'all niggas before, but now on no whole shit. I just wanted y'all hoes.
The group's manager organizes picketers outside local hip-hop station WGCI and successfully gets it into rotation, but no other stations pick it up. The track fizzles out, and the Go-Getters' debut is shelved. It will take 6 years, a traumatic car accident, and a move across the country to get his solo career started, but West will always represent the city he's from.